Hey everyone, just a quick editor's note. So this video is going to be a little bit all over the place. I had about 3.5 to 4 hours worth of footage that I had to go through, and the final cut was about 50 minutes long. So I just couldn't do that. That'd be way too long. So as of right now, I have the video trimmed to about just under half an hour, and that's the most I can get it to. Because if I cut out any more, it's just not gonna be good. So a lot of stuff ended up having to get cut out. So if it sounds like I was in the middle of a thought or explaining something and then it just cuts to a completely different thing, it's because I had to cut it out. I hope you guys enjoyed this video regardless, and let me know what you think about it in the comments. And we're back for another episode. Is that what we call these? We're gonna call them episodes. Where to begin? Remember how I said my last Corvair video, I wanted to have 2 more videos made? Yeah, it didn't happen. I don't really have an excuse. I guess it was Christmas break and just the busy life of Christmas and holiday season and all that. I just wasn't able to get out here, which is really unfortunate because my dad and I both had like a month off of work and nothing really got done to the car. It's cleaned. We cleaned it off. It was acting as a shelf for a little bit. I was hoping that over the course of my dad being home, we would be able to fix this quarter panel because basically this quarter panel and the rockers are what's really the biggest thing that's left. So like I said, you can see a bunch of low spots, and then right about there, see if I can zoom in. Whoa, weird camera action there. We had to replace this piece here. You can actually see part of where we replaced it, and it's sunk. So this is like a really bad low spot there. So that's why my dad had me remove the inner windows. So he could get back to it. As a matter of fact, yeah, you won't be able to see it, but that back there, as you can see, the replacement part that we made. So after that, and the rockers, basically the bodywork is done. So that's really exciting. Here's a list of everything that I want to get done in this video, and I'm gonna attempt to get it done in this video. Starting here, just a minor thing. There is no spot weld connecting this piece to this piece. And it, see that? Flexes. So I want to clamp it, spot weld, pound this down, and maybe do a spot weld from the inside, reach inside, and do a spot weld there. That would make me happier, because, you know, and there's a protective piece that goes there, so not a huge concern. While we're here, look at that. That is rusty, still has paint, a lot of overspray, and that's all the way around. All 4, or it's a 2-door, all 2 doors, and back here, that never got done. So definitely want to get in there, just sand it, wire brush it, clean it, and then prime it, and then we'll just paint it body color when the time comes. So that's that. Want to do that. Secondly, coming here, this weather stripping is really old. Like, I mean, it just kind of breaks in my hand, but I'm not about to shatter it any more than what it is. So I'm going to try to find a way to get it off. It looks like there's some rivets here, but I don't want to drill those out. So I'm going to YouTube or go on some of the Facebook pages and see how I take these apart. And then, you know, get rid of all the old paint there. I mean, look, this, you can still see some of the old forest green paint that this came with. So I want to do that. That's what I want to do, both sides. Another thing, sorry about my lighting, is I have a pretty nasty hole in my floor right there. And so I kind of marked out the area, but I don't know if that's right. So the right way would be to replace this entire floor pan. I'm not about to do that because that's money and time that I don't have. So I'm going to mark this the proper way. You can see how... what's the word I'm looking for? Just, I don't know, pitted the rust is. Want to cut that out and weld in a new piece and make it look kind of nice. You know, it doesn't need to have all these support lines in it, and then it will get covered by carpet. So I'll do that the right way. That's one thing. While I'm also here, I either need to buy new hinges or get a hinge rebuild kit. because my bushings are non-existent. So I'm going to see what I have to do there. However, I might have some extra hinges that I can use. That's one thing. Another thing, I just want to finish cleaning up my glass. I need to take these apart, clean the glass, and then clean these, get rid of the rust, clean the other side, grease them up. So that's something I want to do. Another thing, which is going to be the most ambitious project on this so far, is starting with the trunk. I need to sand the trunk down, get rid of all of it. I was going to sandblast it. Can't really do it, so I'm going to set aside an entire day of sanding the trunk, not the lid, you know, the actual trunk itself. You can see some paint right there, some rust. So this entire area there will be sanded down, and that's going to be fun. And then you guys have heard of POR 15. It stands for paint over rust. Not sure what the 15 stands for, but you quite literally just with a hand brush paint it over the over top of it. The only problem with that is there's a crazy amount of prep work you have to do, and it's a little bit pricey. So I saw on Facebook, on one of the Corvair sites that I'm on, someone actually has a 69 Corvair. I believe he follows me too. I forget his name now, I feel bad. But he's building a 69 race car Corvair as well. And he used something called Rust Bullet. I'll put it up on the screen. So I want to look at doing that, and then I'm going to paint the entire trunk because it's self-leveling, and then once that's painted, I want to, in the future, get it splattered with trunk paint. So I want to do that, and then if that works, the inner the inner quarter panels on both sides, and the inner doors here, I want to paint that in Rust Bullet to prevent any future rusting or any rust that may be starting. So that's what I want to do. So that's basically all that I want to do. That's actually a lot. It doesn't really sound like a lot, like, oh, I have to tack that, you know, but this little stuff adds up, and it's stuff that I can either do now or do it later, and I'd rather do it now because that's what I can do now. Come over here, and I just tape this off because I'm going to take a wire brush and go along there, and then I am in the future going to be repainting my interior. I think I repainted this when I was like 15 or 16. I did not do a good job at all. Look at that orange peel, and I just didn't do a good job. So it wouldn't hurt too bad if some of the wire brush hurt that, but I'm just going to tape it off because I'm not sure when I'm going to be able to get to repainting it. I do plan on putting a half cage in this car, not a full roll cage, because I do want to keep my back seats. But when I do that, then I'll completely redo the interior. Headliner will be black. And all right, that was actually a lot of work trying to get the drill at a proper angle. Still have some touch-up work to do. Got the inside there too. So this took me, like, not even gonna lie, like 15 minutes. So I have to do that side, and I have to do the doors, but I might hold off on the doors just because they're kind of scattered about the garage. So I might hold off on that. Moving on to the weather stripping here. Like I said, here's a really good example of being able to see the factory force green paint. So cool color, but you know, I need to take off this trim. So what you do, this is really brittle, this weather stripping here. So a bunch of it came off already, and then I noticed there's a screw right there. So I'm going to just go ahead and remove all the weather stripping. Aha, look at that. Just kind of all fell out once you kind of got it started going. Glad I did that because all the screws, especially up there, look how much rust those screws have. All right, so we ended up getting these out, but you can just see how dirty it is. And then it looks like GM, alongside using screws, they also use this glue crap. I don't know. And then if you look right there, see how it's rusty, and then there it's not. I took a red Scotch-Brite pad to kind of aggressively take off the rust, and then I'll hit it back up with a green Scotch-Brite pad. but I'm not sure how I'm going to get all of this glue and crap off. All right, look at that. We got the old crappy weather stripping out in one piece. Man, that is bad. All right, well, there's that. And then we got the stainless steel piece. That is really cool how it keeps the contour. That's pretty cool. So, yeah, this one definitely felt like there was more glue crap holding them in. Maybe lacquer thinner can help get that glue off. And then if you come over here, yeah, look at that. Factory forest green paint. Getting all of that off is not gonna be fun, but we have to do it. All right, well, that makes me feel better. All right, and we're back. I got a nice early start today. So as you can see, I'm about to tack this. I'm just gonna put probably a really small tack right there, and then get a body hammer, bend that down, and then from the inside, tack that. And then that will be done. Like I said, there's a decorative piece here that will go there, but I'm still just gonna put a really small tack right there. And then after that, time to weld in a patch panel. So let's get to it. Look at that. So I ended up doing a tack here, and then instead of grinding it, I took an old file, I think this is my grandpa's, and kind of filed it down. That looks really good. And then I also filed that tack down. And like I said, you can see the screw holes here for the decorative piece. And then, you know, whatever, there'll be stuff here. So I'm really happy with that. It's all nice and straight. This was like bent out and this was bent down. So really happy with that. So now we're gonna remove the seat and tackle this project. All right, got my seat out so I can get in here a little easier. So here's the problematic area, obviously, and there's a frame rail right there. You can see how they bent the floor to the contour. The end of that frame rail is right here where this black line is. So I'm just gonna skim the top sheet metal here, not cut into the frame rail, and then get an air tool to separate the metal there. So let me get my die grinder set up. Probably end up masking off the dash area here. So it is currently, according to my atomic clock, about 12 minutes to 11. I am challenging myself to at least have the floor tacked in by noon. So let's see if we can do that, and let's get on with it. All right, look at that. That took a little bit longer than what I wanted to. But anyway, looking in there, although it's rusty, that frame rail is still solid. Yeah, so thankfully there's a drain hole right here, and then you can see some light coming through. So any water or crap that got caught in there, thankfully went out through that drain hole, and that's, I'm pretty sure, what saved it. So it's about 11:25. Like I said, that took longer than what I wanted it to. So I'm going to wire brush this, spray some rust inhibitor, and while the rust inhibitor is drying, I'll get some paper, make a template, and then prime this with weldable primer, and then weld in the new piece. And like I said, I just wanted it to be tacked in within the next half hour. So we got 34 minutes. Let's get to it. All right, now we got some rust inhibitor sprayed in there. I have this little template here. I know that's going to need some fine tuning, especially because when I cut the floor, it wasn't straight. You got all these bends, and over time, the floor just kind of collapses. But I'm hoping this will work. So let's go and cut this out because we only have 19 minutes until I'm trying to have this floor tacked in. Looks like I need to do a little reshaping here at the bottom, but other than that, the cut up here and there is looking pretty good. Probably crawl underneath the car quick and see what it looks like on this edge, because I can see the floor there. So, little work to do yet. We're running at about 15 minutes, but I'm liking the way everything is looking so far. All right, let's reshape this and we'll get to tacking that in. Unfortunately, we didn't make it to that 12 o'clock mark. That's okay, though. Can't win them all. But I think we're just going to go ahead, drill those holes, and then take a quick break, get something to eat, and then we'll come back and we'll tack around the rest of it, and we'll call it good there. Also, just want to clear one thing up with me trying to get this piece welded in an hour and a half. I'm not cutting any corners. I'm not doing a sloppy job. I was just doing that to see if I could do it without any distraction. So if my phone dinged or someone called me, I didn't answer it. I didn't go inside to find something to eat. I was just trying to see if I could accomplish this in an hour and a half. Honestly, I think I could. The thing that took the longest is trimming the metal to make it fit perfect. One other thing that I'm going to move on to is right here. If you remember in a few previous videos, there was a dent there, and we got most of it out. But if you run your hand there, I can still feel a slight dent. And so I'm going to sand away this primer and lay on a really thin layer of putty, but I'm going to fan it out more so it covers more, and then sand it. Quick thing, someone commented on one of my previous videos saying that you shouldn't touch the metal because the grease and the oil from your fingers will be transferred to the metal and bodywork. So though that's true, this is the only way that you can tell if the body is straight or not, by touching it with your bare hand. And then you take something like, this wax and grease remover that fell off, and it's a Prep All or it's a Prep Clean. So you always spray down the bare metal or the bodywork where you touched it, so you're not leaving any oil or contaminants over. So just in case anyone was wondering about touching bare metal, you just have to clean it. If you're wondering why I'm not doing a whole lot of filming, it's just because I'm on such a roll that I'm working. I want to get this done. I've set a deadline of March 26th. So I'm really focused on working, and I guess I'm not filming a whole lot. But I'm going to try. I just got intel from my dad that he's probably going to be home this weekend, so we can kick some more butt on this car. And yeah, like I said, I'm really hoping to at least have it primed and blocked by March 26th. So let's see how that goes. All right, hope you can hear me. I'm wearing a mask because I don't want to breathe this. So, feeling this with my bare oily hand, this feels really good, really good. However, I don't know if you can see this slight discoloration. That's still a low spot. That's the varnish from the putty here that I'm not able to sand away because that's still a low spot. So I'm going to have to put on another very slim coat of putty there. I'll use some top coat putty there. But other than that, that feels really good. Up here feels good. Yeah, this all feels really nice. And then moving down here, this feels okay. And this feels okay as well. There's still some sanding here to do. But I can still see the problematic area right there. It's really hard to breathe in this. So this needs a little more sanding, and then another just quick skim of a top coat. And then this fender, other than down here, should all be good. So I'll probably throw some primer on here tonight just to protect it. And then I'm going to label as this fender done. I've created a punch list. It's on top of the car. I'll show you guys that later. I really hate this stuff because it gets into the grooves of your hands, gets all over your legs, it just gets everywhere. So yeah, I really hate sanding putty. That's why I want to build a rat rod Mad Max inspired build. very happy with that. You can see the two colors of putty. First layer was pink and the second layer was blue. Fun fact, that's why you do different colors, so you can see different layers. Yeah, this feels phenomenal. I can 100% say that I'm happy with the product on this. Even this ridge here feels really good. And then if you come down here, this feels great. Yeah, that is great. I'm really happy with that. All right, it is a new day. It's Friday afternoon, and my dad is home, so that's awesome. And I think I'm just going to make him work on this quarter panel. I think that's what he wants to work on because I know it keeps him up at night. So he's going to work on this. I don't know what his plan is. I'll have him explain it to you because he's a professional here. And then I'll find something to do. Probably going to finish welding in that patch panel that I made. I got to show you guys something really cool. This is just a quick thing that I found. So this is my drip rail, or gutter, we'll call it. And it likes to rust, right? So I'm doing a lot of preventable maintenance to keep this from rusting. And so this is also technically part of the drip rail. You see how that fits right there? Well, it goes like right there. Anyway, so I noticed there's some rust forming. And so I kind of started bending this back very carefully to try to get as much rust out as I could. And I noticed there's a Phillips screw right there. So I unscrew it and it starts hanging down like that. I'm like, no way. And so I look down here and I don't see a Phillips screw, but then I do because it was just covered. So it's just crazy that this is not spot welded in. It's screwed in with two Phillips screws, and then I guess the screws that hold the trim in. And so because of that, I was able to really get in there and look at how bad that pitted. That is crazy. I would have never been able to see that, and given a few more years, that would have rusted right through. So that is so cool that I can take that off. And then this is the cleanest I've ever seen the factory color forest green. So I thought that's really cool. Unfortunately, this doesn't unscrew, but it's spot welded about a half an inch away from each other. Each spot weld is a half an inch away. So I don't really think there's any rust getting there. So if we come over to the other side, I'm not going to show you the body work my dad has going on here. Oh, maybe I will. Look at that. That looks way better, but I trust him. So if you come over here, yep, look at that. We got a Phillips there and a Phillips hiding right there. And this will just pop right off and I'll be able to get all that old seam sealer out. I'm so happy that I found that because this weekend has just been not kind to us with more rust being found, which I'll explain that in a minute. So being able to take that off and really attack the rust was a big win for me. So, I feel so much happier now. All right, on to this. So that is a lead. I can tell that's a lead by the way it's malleable, if that's the proper term. Well, that just poked through. Anyway, there's a drain plug there, and then if you look how shady this bodywork is, I'm about 99% guaranteed that was from the factory because they were just trying to get this car out from the factory as fast as possible, so they didn't really care about how it looked as long as it was done. So pretty sure that's why the bodywork looks like that. So I'm not going to tackle this right now. However, because I've been having problems welding, I'm going to cut a little more, overcompensate where I need to cut, so I'm welding to new metal instead of it keep blowing out on old metal. So that's that. Giant chunk of lead right there. From out right there. That's not supposed to be there. is 6 p.m. I have to work tomorrow. My dad has to work tomorrow. Neither of us want to stay up late. So, didn't get as much done this weekend as I wanted to. We're not even going to talk about this. I'm happy that there's lead on it. It's not pretty by any means, but there's lead on it, and I'm not complaining. I gotta show you guys something amazing that happened. Look what came in the mail. So Jegs, you know, like one of the biggest performance parts manufacturer, sent me a care package. I already opened some of the stuff. They got this awesome sweatshirt. They also sent me a hat that I'm already wearing, a Jegs hat. I took the sticker off. They sent me a shirt, and they sent me a bunch of like stickers and decals, and then they also sent me a massive banner. I mean, this thing is huge. It's at least 6 feet long. So, I don't know, that's just really exciting that they sent me this. Got a bunch of stickers. They even sent me a letter saying that they love what I'm doing in the car community. Love that I'm keeping the car community alive today, and it's just amazing. So, thank you, Jags. That is so cool. So I just had to share that with you guys. That being said, I'm gonna end the video. I apologize because in the beginning of this video, I didn't have a direction. I just started filming and started working on a list. However, I'm really excited for next video because something arrived in the mail, and that's all I'm going to tell you what it is. Actually, you guys, it's part of the rust bullet, equipment that I got to rust bullet this. Really excited for the next video. So when I start filming again, I'm going to have everything primed and everything done, just so I can have more stuff crossed off the list, because I really want to focus on rust bullet stuff the next video. If I had $1 for every time I said rust bullet, I could have this car professionally restored. Okay, so with that being said, thank you for watching. Please like the video. Yeah, feel free to comment and feel free to subscribe because I have a lot of cool projects coming and I'm really excited to show them all to you. Also, we hit a huge milestone. We hit 2,000 subscribers. I'm not sure what the current count is, so I'm going to put the current count in my hand right there. However many subscribers I have at this very moment that I'm editing this video. All right, that being said, hope you guys have a great night and stay tuned for the next video coming out, hopefully within the next 1 to 2 weeks. Take care, everyone.